This podcast is a production of Unfiltered Studios. If you would like to know more about joining Unfiltered Studios, please visit our website at unfpod.com for more information.
Welcome back, class. On today's episode, we break down the 2-episode premiere of Disney Plus's Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. All this and more in a Spider-Man, Won't You Be My Neighbor episode of the Fandalorians. Teachers by day, nerds by night. That is the bell. Class is in session. Welcome to the Fandalorians podcast. Teachers by day, nerds by night. Still the #1 pop culture podcast by public school teachers. Each and every week, we bring you the latest entertainment news, reviews, and lively debates. And sometimes we even preview new shows. Proud member of the Unfiltered Studios podcasting network. Lifelong friends, banter, trash talk. We're here. It's exciting. If you want to reach out, it's the Fandalorians mailbag at gmail.com, or you can text us at 631-494-3632. We'll read your message on the air. We get new listeners all the time, as always. Let me introduce ourselves. My name is Mr. Richardson, 4th grade teacher, and a man who's exhausted from being back at work. Because Mr. G, a few weeks ago, I got hit with that flu. I got come up with the flu. And I'm just not, and my building has 3 floors. And I'm just not in shape yet. I'm still down some weight, a lot, which is nice, but the stairs are killing me, man. I'm huffing and puffing. Yeah, we come up from the gym. The gym is 4 floors down. It's in the basement. So you're going up 4 flights. You're in the room. The kids are sitting there ready to go, and I need like 10 minutes to catch my breath before I talk. Just read quietly, but just read the. Don't talk to me. It's hard, man.
Yeah, that's tough. Hard. It's always tough to have to recover from being sick and then not feeling 100% and then still having to perform Emmy-winning performances, the next day.
Because when you're a teacher, you talk a lot. Some people have other jobs, and I get it. Everyone's jobs are different, but some jobs you can go to, do work, and really not speak as much. We're constantly talking, and I'm out of breath.
All day long.
That's all I do is talk.
Even when I'm trying not to talk, I end up talking.
No, they end up showing up and they have questions. Mr. McDonald's on special assignment, but my other co-teacher, the man who's going to tell us something about a book he's reading, Mr. G.
This book that I'm reading is a Kristen Hanna book. I've read a whole bunch of her books, and this one is called The Winter Garden. This was an older book. It was written back in 2010, and it's about a family where you have 2 daughters and their parents in there. The father passes away, and the relationship between these 3 women evolve. Reading this book is because part of my book club. And the interesting thing about it is there is no version of, I listen to my books on Libby, which is through our library, and they don't have this as an audiobook. So people are like, you can read this book. And I'm like, don't be silly. I'm not going to read this book. So I ended up having to break down and
buy the book.
No, I didn't even do that. I'm listening to it on YouTube. And it's like, I got to keep track of every time I'm done listening, I have to take a screenshot so I don't lose the time and stuff. So I don't necessarily recommend doing it that way, but that's what I'm doing. I got to tell you, Mr. Richardson, this book would drive you nuts. So
okay,
not to talk about the plot of the story, but it's clearly these 2 daughters are dense, and the mom tells these stories about her Mom, please tell us those, fairy tales that you used to tell us when we were kids kind of thing. And she's telling these stories, which is clearly about her. It's not even disguised, as the reader, you're like, oh, wow, this is really about her. It's not revealed. It's right from the beginning, you realize that the mom is telling the story of her childhood, but through the guise of a fairy tale. And let me tell you, I was 15, it's 37 chapters. It's not until chapter 16 do the two numbskulls realize that, wait a minute,
They're talking about
mom is talking
she's
about
talking about herself.
herself. And it's just like, oh, so like aggravating to listen, because it's like, what is that called, that literary thing when you as the audience know something that the characters don't?
Does not. I forget the term. I know what you're talking about though.
It's just killing me though the whole time, like it's going on. But now that they finally understand it, it makes it's a little bit more enjoyable. Because the whole time you're just frustrated. It's like, why don't you two numbskulls realize this?
So what's the plot then? Is
Uh,
there a problem,
discovery?
or they just
Self-discovery.
of
Well,
the life
I guess
story?
I don't know. They're learning
How
about
their lives
mom
parallel their mothers
life.
or something?
Yeah, the mom. That's like there's a lot
Sorry,
to do with
we
the
can cut
mom.
this
Is
part out.
very
I'm just curious then.
the mom is very distant. Basically, she has PTSD, and
Okay.
the daughters don't realize it. That's
And
what
they're
she has.
realizing what happened to her led to her to be the way she
Yes,
is.
because apparently
Okay,
the mom
parallel.
never talked to the kids, and it was one
Okay.
of the comments that one of the ladies in the book club said they thought it was annoying how distant and closed off the mom was. And my
But that's the
response
point.
to it, my response was, it's like,
Yeah.
well, normally a lot of times it's the father who is distant and cold
Yeah.
towards the family from PTSD, and in this story, it just happens to be the mom. So
Yeah, right. That's it. That sounds interesting. I like that one.
yeah,
Could it be a Netflix series? I think 1,000% can.
not a
You
series.
cast. You could do.
But
I see
I
six
listen, I'm
episodes in
all
this thing.
about this limited series that they got going on right now at Netflix. I would take.
I'm already sold. I'd write this. Give me 6 episodes. Each one, she's telling a story. You have a different person. Doesn't even look like her cast as her.
Yeah.
You know, it could look, Asian, black, white, whatever. And then they realize it's her story. And that's why.
She's Russian.
There's a lot here.
She's Russian.
I'm in.
That's a big part of it. She's Russian.
I'm in for the whole thing. All right, so we're gonna check that book out, and again, we're ready to go. So I'm gonna play the bell. We got a building meeting, and we're gonna jump right into our initial thoughts of the new Disney Plus series, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Come on down to the building meeting. Come on down today. There's many things to talk about. Yes, you have to stay. With urgent things to discuss. So lose that face of disgust. No, this couldn't be an email. So come on down today. Building meeting today. Oh yeah, it's the building meeting today. Mr. Osborne? Why me?
Peter, with all your talents, you're capable of incredible things. New York has become a very dangerous place. We need a new hero. We need Spider-Man.
Oh man, this is incredible! I have these powers to help people. You brought a knife to a website? It's actually really smart. Whatever comes next, I can handle it.
What'd you say your name was again?
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
You kinda wish you had a neighbor like
Now streaming on Disney Plus.
All right, first, I like that music.
Yeah, no, that's nice.
I know that's not the first thing I was gonna jump to, but I definitely like that music. Let me give you some of the information before we just jump into this a little bit. It's called Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Disney Plus. It's out and available now. They dropped the first 2 episodes. I think they're dropping 3 episodes next week. I heard it's not going to go 1. It's going to go like 2, 3. I have to double.
I'll look right now.
Yeah, double check that. Originally, this was called Spider-Man Freshman Year. They later retitled Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Charlie, originally, this was like the Tom Holland Spider-Man story before we met him in Civil War with Tony Stark. But they obviously made a pivot, realizing you kind of pigeonhole him completely if you can't introduce the Marvel Universe and anything else. It's just him fighting people who aren't in the movies. It would have been tough. Came out January 29th. The 2 episodes have premiered already. It's already been praised for great storytelling, the animation style, but I'm going to get Charlie's opinion on that because he's the animation savant here. Described as a captivating, thought-provoking entertainment. It's true to the legacy. It has some fresh elements. You got Peter Parker. You got May Parker, who looks a lot like Marissa Tomei. We have Norman Osborn, who's black. Yo, you know that. They got a black Norman Osborn out here. You know he's got the skull cap on. We have Nico, who I'm going to talk about. I think he puts it on right when he gets in the car. We have Nico, who is from Runaways fame. I'll mention that. Lonnie Lincoln, who also, I know a lot about Spider-Man history. Got Harry Osborn, Pearl, a bunch of other people. From the trailer alone, we know Matt Murdock's going to show up, played by Charlie Cox. Who's voicing the series coming up. He's voicing this. Kingpin, we saw Doctor Strange in the premiere. Octavius as a tease for the Lizard. I hear Iron Man is supposed to pull out the symbiote. There's a lot happening here. 2 episodes just came out. I mean, Charlie, your initial thoughts? Like, what'd you think from what you saw?
So I liked it a lot, actually. The animation style. It's computer generated, and I want to use the word flat because it's not. It's obviously not like 3D animation is like Toy Story. That's 3D animation. So this is like your regular 2D animation.
Like a comic panel type.
Yeah,
animation.
comic panel, and it's not like vibrant. It's very flat colors. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. It's
I do.
It's very flat colors. It's like his jacket is red. It's red. It's not shades of red. It's red. So,
Okay.
but I like the animation style. It works. I like how they also incorporate the computer animation into it because it definitely has a different look to certain scenes, like especially that scene, like right in the trailer and in the episodes when he's web slinging. It's a nice, smooth transition from where you feel like here's animation, and then you could see where they really tuned in or turned on the computer animation to help render animation. I don't know if that makes sense. Like for me,
It does for me.
so there are certain shows like Avatar: The Last Airbender early on where they had, it's almost like hand drawn, and then they added CGI computer generated animation, like all the
Around it.
tanks from the Fire Nation. It was an early on kind of thing. It didn't necessarily blend super well. And then this one, it just has a nice, you could definitely, for me, yes, it's all rendered on computers, but there's a feeling for me when you could see where it's like, all right, they turned it on and had the computers take on the animation of that web slinging stuff. Other than that, I thought it looked very cool.
I thought it looked good too. I had no interest in this. I mean, I was going to watch it because we do this and it's sitting there. All right. For me, as someone who's read Spider-Man forever, if there was a trivia contest and I started reading when I was 9 years old, I will wipe the floor with anyone walking this planet, including people who wrote the books. This is it. I've read every comic, man. I know every storyline. I don't know dates, but I know things. I know people tend to get a little upset and you see them online, oh my God, it's woke, it's this, it's that, third, because a character who was a girl is now a male, who was a woman is now a male, who is black is now white, whatever. None of that bothers me because I've always gone on an assumption that this is just an alternate reality. This is just another universe where Spider-Man exists. We have a universe from the comic universe, we have the movie universe, we have the original movie universe. They all teamed up eventually. It's just a bunch of alternate realities. This is just another alternate reality with Spider-Man. It's basically like the Watcher is watching this reality. It's like a what if continuation. That's how I've always looked at it. And that's how they said in the comics. In the comics, they reference the movie universe as another reality. It's just, it is what it is.
And there's always been, hold on, Ms. Richardson, to your point, there's always been in comics, like someone who's not super familiar with comics is like, there's always been different versions of these characters all along since the inception of the character. There's always different versions of them, but in media, movies and television, it's very static, and that's where people tend to have their problems because like no, it's supposed to be this way. In reality, it's like no, it's actually always been this way.
There's always been multiple versions of it. It's just people have trouble accepting it, and they see it as some sign. It's like, oh, they're making a statement. More like, no, different reality, different people. And so I say that to say I'm going into this not expecting what I got, which was an exciting premiere which was the fact that, listen, the MCU didn't give us the death of Uncle Ben. It gave us the spoilers for this whole thing. The death of Aunt May was like the big moment for Spider-Man, even though he was already a hero. This one, Uncle Ben's gone before he even gets his powers, which is completely different. And then it opens with a fight at his new school where Doctor Strange shows up. And I'm watching this like, okay, Doctor Strange is here from the beginning. This is crazy. He doesn't have any powers. He's not going to help. Then we see the spider come out of the portal. The spider bites him from the portal, which just, okay. And then the spider gets away, like doesn't die, crawls in someone's backpacks. We don't see who the kid is who takes the spider away. And I'm like, all right, that's a mystery. And then the bigger mystery, which may have occurred a split second before this, was when Doctor Strange came out of the portal, looked around and said, no, we're not supposed to be here. So I'm thinking, oh, wow. So if he's acknowledging that, as in maybe he knows who Spider-Man is, this is Midtown, I got to get out of here. Maybe it's a time travel thing, another reality. All that is completely different from anything I've ever expected in this. And that was in the first 10 minutes. And then I was in, Charlie. At that point, I was like, okay, this is going to be different for me, which I was expecting the same one. I've seen every animated version of Spider-Man. There's been like 6 series, and they've all started the same. This felt a little different, Charlie.
You know what? I think the fact that might be lost on people, that this is a different reality in terms of what we think of Spider-Man, with the appearance of Doctor Strange literally showing up and saying, wait, I'm not supposed to be here. And then you're like, okay, so that's, in my mind, I'm in a different place. I'm not in whatever world you're immediately put into the set. But I think some people kind of missed that, or may not have understood that was the symbolism of him showing up and doing all that and kicking that all off. I like the action sequence. I like character of Peter Parker is Peter Parker. Even though he didn't have his powers, he kind of like stood up for the small person and showing that his character is who he is and Peter Parker is who he is, whether powers or without powers.
I enjoyed that his costume was just whatever he threw together. I like the time jump, right? We jumped immediately to, we saw how he got his powers. Mm-hmm. We jumped months later where he's actually actively as Spider-Man wearing the worst possible costume. I'm assuming he's going to get the upgrade at Oscorp, but I like that Spider-Man, but it's, he's not being bullied. He's not being shoved in a locker. He's definitely socially awkward, doesn't fit in, but he's not completely ostracized because he's at a school where they're mostly those kind of people as well. The football player is also smart. Like this is, I like how they just kept tweaking it enough to be different.
There were certain things about that I thought was weird. But back to his costume, one of the things I watched it with my son, and I said, those hoses that he has that for the web shooter, that seems a bit dangerous. Like those are going to get like stuck on something. And I immediately think of, is it in The Incredibles when they talk about having a costume with a cape? Yeah, you don't want a cape.
Step on it.
Exactly. Like that whole like hose like dangling from the side. I'm like, that's totally gonna get caught on something. That's not very safe.
I love the idea of that's how he would make it because he's a kid. He needs something to get the pressure to shoot it that far because he can't invent anything better now. I'm sure, like I said, he'll probably get an upgrade, but it makes sense. This is what you would throw together if you're 15 years old and you're trying. I need a tank. I'm gonna have to just carry it. All right, whatever, because they're kids. My back already hurt watching him do it. And when you cut the wire, it's over. So I like that as well. Costume's cool.
Yeah.
And then I got to go with Nico. Now, if you don't know, some of the characters in here, just the fanboy in me. We talk about Nico, who's never been in a Spider-Man comic before that way. Nico's from a series called Runaways. If you've ever read the comic, any of you who's listened or heard about the comic, it's actually a great story.
Didn't they also have... Hold on. Didn't they also
had a short-lived TV series on Hulu? Yes.
Okay.
It's basically about a bunch of kids who find out their parents are villains and they run away. That's the term, runaway. And they all have some powers they didn't know they had. Nico was one of the main characters. And having her on the show, she doesn't appear to have her magic yet. She was gay in the comics. She's definitely gay in the show because she was also checking out the girl that Peter liked and made a couple comments, but they made it real subtle. They didn't make it like a stand on, like, oh, she's flirting with her, but you saw it, and I knew the character was gay anyway, so I was kind of expecting that. Him having a best friend made me nervous because all his best friends ended up getting killed, and no one's died yet. I worry for Nico. I really do. I was like, oh, I like her. Oh, that's terrible. Then you have Amadeus Chow at the Oscorp place. That's another famous character who's like considered the smartest person in the Marvel universe. You have the person from Wakanda, Osborn, the lizard there. Like there was just so much there that just made me like, you know what, Charlie? It was like they could go so many different ways. They've already been picked up up to season 3.
Yeah, I saw
There's
that.
so many different threads they can pull on. And I know enough to know, even Lonnie, the football player, Lonnie is one of the major villains in the comics. Like
Oh yeah, I thought
yeah,
he was. I feel like he could be set up to be like he is the anti-stereotypical jock, where you could see he's going to have a tough villain arc. He's going to have a villain's origin story. Something's going to happen, and then he turns villain.
Right, because you see him. He left when he left school and walked. And this isn't my joke. I did see this online, so I'm not going to pretend I stole it. But someone said he basically left the school and walked through Gotham to get home, and he was in Gotham. Not my joke, but it was really funny when I read it online.
Yeah,
and it looked like it. He's just out of a sort. Just by the time he gets home, it's sundown, and he's in. I don't know where in the city he is, but again, it looks like he walked to Gotham City. But he's just getting by. But in the comics, he becomes quite the crime lord. But here he's a nice kid. Like there's so many threads they can pull at. Osborn figuring out that he's Spider-Man. That's just cool too. There's just a lot there. And I enjoyed it a lot, Charlie. I really did.
You know, I liked how they introduced all these characters into the series. I liked the pacing of the action and in the storytelling of it. My one critique, and this is a random critique, is I really enjoy when movies, especially comic book movies or shows based on comic books, when they actually add comic panels to it, like the original Hulk that was done how long ago, where they had put those comic panel scenes into it. Some people didn't like it. I thought it was super cool.
Yeah.
But they used the same comic panel scene twice.
Just
and it was
slide over one in the middle.
It was their two faces. It was side by side, two faces, and they used that comic panel look twice. And I'm like, oh, that once was okay, but that was the only 2 times they really did it. And I was like, oh, that's weird.
I like that part of. I like to see it again in other types of panels, but I liked it.
I do like it because it is like that comic-y kind of thing.
It's a comic, and basically what you said about the animation being 2D, it just fits what they're doing here. Because when I first saw the animation, I was like, this isn't going to be for me. But you know what? I always give it 2 episodes. They gave me 2 episodes. I liked it. I like the whole look of it. I even like Parker's outfit is exactly what he wore in like the 60s comics. That same little yellow, blue jet, the whole thing. But everyone else is current. They got the braids. They got the hat, everything's got different except for him. He's using the phone. The guy was streaming things. It's like they took the 60s and try to make it more now, which is okay.
Let me ask you something about that scene, but go on. So go on, and then I'll ask my question about that scene.
No, we can go there because it's gonna. Right. It leads to my next thing. What's up?
Okay,
the bad guys pull out a phone at first, which, I mean, that's what the kids do.
I know that's what the kids do, but those kids were literally streaming crime.
Yeah,
how long would that actually last in the real world? I'm not thinking very much. That would not go very far. They literally filmed
streaming themselves
committing crimes.
But they only pulled it out when Spider-Man showed up.
No, so they were streaming before.
They were streaming when they were chasing Harry.
Yeah, because then when he takes his phone,
they pulled it out when they got in the alley.
No, to stream them beating up that kid.
Spider-Man was there, but Spider-Man was there when he got in the alley because Spider-Man. No, I think they only because his Harry.
No, because then when
the car, Spider-Man grabs him, they swing, they both drop in the alley. They show up, and he says, "Whatever, film it." And so now they're filming him and Spider-Man, but they were going after Spider-Man, even though they're going after both of them.
No, they were like, "Whatever, film it, keep going," even though Spider-Man is there. And then
I thought it was before, but either way,
when they were watching it, when Spider-Man was then talking to his live stream about it, he was saying, "You shouldn't watch this kind of content." He makes a comment about you shouldn't be watching this.
No, but didn't he pick up? It wasn't Spider-Man's live stream. He picked up the guy's phone.
Yeah. No, the guy's phone. He picked up the live stream to talk to the guy's viewers and saying Basically, you shouldn't be
this stuff
watching this.
anyway. But yeah, in real life, if you had a nitpick, yes, a nitpick would be that would be dumb to film some sort of crime.
Yeah,
That you're about to assault some people in the alley.
exactly.
Are kids this day dumb enough to do this? Yes, though. No,
Yeah,
they
but
are. They're
that would
dumb
get
kids.
that would
No,
get
you're interested. They're gonna get arrested. They
yes.
should, because they're filming themselves committing a crime. They're that stupid, man. I'm telling you, kids are dumb. The other thing is Peter Parker changed to Spider-Man in a building, not realizing there'd be cameras everywhere. As he was doing it, I was like, I don't know, man, because aren't people going to see this? Like, because listen, there's cameras all over my job. Every place we go now, there's cameras.
Yeah,
And it's established that everyone has phones and cameras. It shouldn't have been something, but doesn't his spider sense tingle when he's on? I don't know if he has it like that. But then again, he's a dumb kid.
It did not tingle. He did not have any Spidey sense tingling when there should have been moments of Spidey sense tingling. I picked up on that. I thought to myself, shouldn't his Spidey senses be tingling right now?
Like dodging? Like he's dodging well because he's quick, but then when he stepped on the board and he almost fell through the floor, that's usually like a moment where his Spidey sense, like this that kind of thing. But maybe it comes later.
Yeah, maybe
it comes later. I don't know.
He's got to grow into his abilities.
Yeah, actually. So, all right, how do we grade this? How do we grade something that's not done? What do we do?
You can't grade it.
Listen, good job. Keep going. It's fine. We're progressing. It's like a parent-teacher conference mid semester. He's doing well. Assignments turning all the time. I like Spider-Man. I like the group of friends. I like the foreshadowing of so many threads to pull out. And again, that's something I know. Some people don't know this stuff as deep as me. But the fact that I'm excited about it, and I thought I've seen it all. Once Doctor Strange pulled up and said, I'm not supposed to be here, and the spider came out of a universe bubble thing and hung down from somewhere. Okay. Because I know that, and that spider didn't die for once, because they always bite him and die.
Yeah, I'm curious to know.
And now it crawled in a book bag, and some kid walked away. Who's the kid with the? It's been 5 months. What's the spider did to the kid who left? Who left? Who was? They didn't even show the kid who picked up the bag. You didn't see his hand. If he's white, black, you just saw sneakers, legs, and the bag lift. That's a mystery. So much there. So Charlie, it's getting a. I'm happy so far. Here's your sticker. Keep up the good work. Easy conference.
Easy conference. This was definitely an easy conference. I like those easy conferences.
You're in like 5 minutes. You're like, listen, your kid's great. You've heard it for 4 years now. Why are we wasting time? Thanks for the coffee. Easy conference, Charlie. I'm in for this.
Yep, I'm in. I'm happy to see that it got picked up for 3 seasons. And
did you happen to see if they're dropping more episodes?
Yes, I did. I looked it up, and it was a weird schedule. It's on February 5th. It's three episodes. Then the 12th is 3 episodes, and then the 19th is the final 2 episodes, which means those days are Wednesdays.
Okay, so every Wednesday, I'm getting like 3, at least 2 or 3 episodes.
3 episodes. It's 3, and then 2.
Oh, it's exciting. I'm in for this. An hour and a half every week. It's not bad.
What
are your thoughts on this one? I kind of like the schedule. This is not bad.
We'll see. I do like the week. I do like the initial like 2 drop kind of 2-3 episode drop and then 1 weekly. This one's a little different, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm in though. I'm in. All right.
Do you think I got a question for you though, Mr. Rickson? Because I'm just looking at the titles of the episodes.
Oh God, read them to me. I want to hear this. Amazing Fantasy was the first one. That's a cool title. The name of the comic he first appeared in.
The Parker Luck was episode 2.
He's always out of bad luck. Yep, that's right.
All right. So episode 3 is called Secret Identity Crisis. All right.
Okay.
Hitting the Big Time. The Unicorn Unleashed. Duel with the Devil. So I'm assuming episode 6. That's when we're going to see Daredevil. Scorpion Rising. Okay. Then 8 is Tangled Web. Hero or Menace is 9. And then the final episode, 10. If This Be My Destiny. Now, Hero Menace makes me think of JJ.
Jonah Jameson, yeah.
So if he was to stream on like TikTok and get views and like live stream, he'd probably make a pretty penny rather than selling his photos to
I'm assuming it's not the newspaper. I'm assuming it's some sort of website. It's not a website. Maybe it's like a CNN type thing now. But only digital, like a digital kind of platform.
Yeah, but if he was to stream himself on like Twitch or something like that, he'd make enough money to do what he needed to get what
but
he
they can't
came
pay
for.
him directly because he can't open an account in Spider-Man. He has a secret identity. He's got to
No,
find
it'd
a
be
way
the
to
same
get
thing.
in.
He'd be. Oh, you're right. He couldn't stream it himself.
Yeah, how are they paying him?
Peter
They
Parker
can't connect
would
it to
know.
an account.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I don't know.
All right,
There
maybe
must be
that would
something there, but I'm in for this though. This sounds good, and these titles are great. So for Mr. G, I'm Mr. Richardson. Mr. McDonald is still on special assignment. We'll see him soon. Thank you for listening. Check out Spider-Man. Let us know your thoughts. We'll talk to you next time.